towards others. His direction is getting us towards others. I can't just end Nehemiah 2 with verses 1 through 8. I have to take it just a little bit further, because what really Nehemiah 1 through 8, or 2, 1 through 8 is saying is summed up in Nehemiah 2:10. But when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the Ammonite official heard my arrival, they were very displeased that someone had come to help the people of Israel. And that's in the New Living Translation, so some of you may see that one. What we have here is God wanted Nehemiah to rebuild the city for God's purposes. We have to see that God's doing in our lives is for his purposes, not ours. What we have to see is that God's guidance in us, that we are a vehicle to take the message of God to others. Healthy people need a doctor, sick people don't. I believe Jesus said that. And what's going on here is Nehemiah is going to a town that is destroyed, that's in ruins. It is chaos. There are tons and tons of hurting people here. They needed a Nehemiah. And we look at this modern day Seattle, and we see tons and tons of hurting people here. Not that many people are going to be in church. Not that many people are going to be full of God's love. What they need is they need a you. They need a Nehemiah here in Seattle. The world needs you farther than Seattle and farther than here we are today. But we need to go into the world. We need to take this message of Jesus, of God, into the world. Nehemiah didn't go to the city to rebuild it for his own purposes, for his own glory, for his own statutes, so that he could be lifted up, so that he could be made known. But he did it so that people could be changed, that people's lives could be made whole. People were living in ruins. People were hurting. And Nehemiah did it for their benefit. He didn't do it for the benefit of himself. So the point that I want you to understand is use what God has given you to benefit others. That's what Nehemiah did. And that's what Jesus did. That's what Jesus meant by healthy people don't need a doctor, sick people do. Will you pray with me? God, guide us to your people. Guide us to your purposes, God. That we would only glorify you, that we would not be glorified out of anything ourselves. God, we have to remind ourselves that we are in ministry. But we need to understand that we're not in ministry for ourselves, that we're not here to be glorified. God, we're not trying to make a name for ourselves and look at what the coolest thing is to do, but we need to understand that people need to know you and love you, God. So let us do that. Let us be your vehicle, that people would know you through us and love you through us. God, let us see that people need you. God, guide us to introducing them to you as Nehemiah did and as Jesus did. God, I believe that you want us to spread the message of love to everybody in the world. And God, in your name, we thank you. Amen. That's it.